Hi, it's Rachel Wilson Thibodeau of swagstrategy.com, also known as the Swag Strategist and Leverage Your Brand Coach. And I'm coming to you with a mini training on how to move your side gig to your front gig. And that comes from what I see a lot in corporate America and just in other industries as well. People working a full-time job and looking to transition into entrepreneurship ultimately at some point on a full-time basis. But before they do that, they're working their business on a part-time basis. And that can be a really good way to go because that allows you to gradually build your business while maintaining your income and not having to worry so much and be stressed about money. Now, that is tough, but that is probably the best way to go, unless you're like some of us who really just need to jump in, just kind of jump over the cliff into entrepreneurship. But I want to share with you just a few things or a few ways of how to really effectively transition from part-time entrepreneurship into full-time entrepreneurship. And I know many of you out there know just what I'm talking about because you're working the business part-time, you have the side hustle, the side gig, and it may be going along fine, but you are dreaming of the day when you can fire your boss or tell your boss to go to hell. That's if you really have a bad boss. Otherwise, you probably shouldn't tell your boss to go to hell unless you're really sure you are leaving, you're quitting, and you don't mind burning bridges with that boss. Okay, just a little extra tip there. But but you know what I'm talking about, and there are some things that you really need to have in place before you can launch your business full-time successfully. So I'll just share a few of those things with you. One is you need to know your target audience. Now, you may have heard that before. I am telling you again because that was kind of challenging for me, and I see that it is very challenging for some of my clients and folks that I've worked with, especially with new entrepreneurs, not really being clear on who they are helping, who are they solving a problem for. That is really important because you cannot help everybody, at least not at first. Your business may grow into that, and once you get so good at helping a particular group of people, then of course the word gets out and your business may evolve over time so that your audience grows. But you really need to start out segmenting, narrowing your focus. If it's women, you have to get narrower, that's the correct word, or more narrow than that. You have to look at age, you need to look at married or single, professional, industry, what do they like, what you have to really get clear about the group of people you want to work with and who is really a good fit for you, because that is the key to creating really effective branding and marketing to connect with that audience. It is very difficult to create marketing messages that will reach the masses. So that is another really important reason why you want to know your target audience. The other really important tip I want to share with you on moving from a side gig to a front gig, know your numbers. Let me say that again. Know your numbers. That means know the financials. Know your numbers. Know your expenses. That is critical. You have to know how much it costs to run your business. So you need to know your expenses, at all your expenses. Some small business owners tend to look over things. They think, oh, that that may not be that important, or that's a small expense. No, you want to know all of your expenses. You want to know printing costs, if you have that. You want to know the cost of your website host. If you're spending money on some type of software to create landing pages and other marketing material, you want to know that. Networking, that is a cost that's often overlooked. If you're paying for networking events, if you're sponsoring events, all of that incurs a cost. You need to know that. And it's very important that you understand the difference between certain financials. For example, sales is not synonymous with profit. Let me say that again. Also, sales is not the same thing as profit. Your profit is what is left over from your sales after expenses. So that's what I'm talking about. You really need to understand things like that. And then, of course, your expenses that you can deduct. You want to know about that for tax purposes. And if this is not your area of expertise, and I certainly understand that, hire an accountant, a good accountant, because you need someone to keep up with this for you. Now, I'm not saying just hire the accountant and then ignore them and just kind of hand everything over to them and let them just, no. If you know about Oprah and how she runs her financials, even being the billionaire that she is, she said once that she still signs her own checks. Actually, I've heard her say that more than once. So you want to keep signing your own checks. There's another message to that. Basically, you want to be on top of what's going on with your money. But if you need help, get the help you need to make sure that you are on top of your financials. Any successful business owner needs to know their numbers. And then another tip I will share, you need a plan. And not necessarily a business plan. I know that's what we hear a lot as entrepreneurs. You need a business plan, you need a business plan, you need a business plan. A business plan is important. A business plan does not have to be complicated, though. It doesn't have to be 35 pages. If you are intimidated by a business plan, really, first and foremost, what I think is even more important, or perhaps is more important, is a marketing plan. Get a marketing plan, because you need to know how you're going to market your products and services. So the thing with a business/marketing plan, you need something in place to serve as a blueprint, as a guide to what your business is about and the direction you want to take your business in. But far too many entrepreneurs end up stuck and they get overwhelmed by a business plan, by the kind of traditional business plan, because it's so involved and there's all these different sections and SWOT analysis and this and that and executive summary. And if you're not quite ready for that, and honestly you may not be, because in the very beginning of a business you may not even know all of that information. That's understandable, but you still need a plan. So that's why I suggest creating a marketing plan. But even a business plan, again, it doesn't have to be complicated. You can Google simple business plan and you'll find some templates and some other great resources for creating a really clear-cut business plan, and that's enough to get you started. So there you go. Now, actually, there is a lot more to this. I shared 3 tips with you. There's really a total of 10 in an audio training that I offer, and it is, I can assure you, and I'm not just saying this because I did it, it is an awesome training for those who are looking to either transition into full-time entrepreneurship, or even those who are within the first, say, 2 or 3 years of their business. Really great tips, things that you need to know, tips and strategies. And that is also called How to Move Your Side Gig to the Front. So if you want to grab that, I'll put the link in the description box. And you can also get that on my website at www.swagstrategy.com. That's swag, S-W-A-G, strategy.com. So again, I am Rachel Wilson Thibodeau. Love for you to follow me on Twitter at Swag Strategist. And for you visionary, go-getter, professional women and entrepreneurial women out there, you should really check out my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/the Swaganista Guide. The Swaganista Guide. There's some great information there as well. So until next time, just remember, your brand is an asset. I'm here to help you turn your brand assets into financial assets.